All right, you've heard me talk about Mountain Dew Mouth here in the last few days. I'm shocked that not more people know what it is or the damage that is done by all of the sugar content in boxed foods and highly processed foods. My next guest, though, called out a lot of his colleagues, conservative influencers, for taking money to defend Coca-Cola and Mountain Dew and the big soda companies because there's a push out there to make sure that you can't use your SNAP, your food stamps, to buy these products. Nick Sortor is an independent journalist uncovering the full story through in-depth, on-the-scene reporting. He joins me here now. Nick, thank you for being here.
Appreciate you having me, Steve.
You didn't even know about Mountain Dew Mouth. You just went and looked at the pictures. This is the damage.
Yes.
And here's the point that I want to make here. We pay for the food stamps that does this damage. Some of these mothers are putting Mountain Dew or Coca-Cola into the baby bottles. I mean, for 1 and 2 year olds, unbelievable. So it rots the teeth out of their mouths. It's every bit as bad as meth mouth, if you will, right? Then we've got the problem of chronic obesity, which leads to diabetes, which leads to lifelong health problems. As Americans, making America healthy again, shouldn't we be on the road to helping these people have successful, fulfilling lives, not long-term health problems? I mean, that's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, but unfortunately, Steve, there's not enough money in, healthy people. It seems like at this point, they almost want that. That's another part of this entire situation. It's not just paying or subsidizing Coca-Cola to the tune of $5+ billion per year with taxpayer dollars. It goes further than that, because then we have to pay for the health ramifications of constantly drinking sodas like that, the diabetes, and a lot of these people, if you're on SNAP, there's a good chance that you're on government health insurance too.
That's
So,
right.
it's more than just the $5 billion. We're talking, what do we spend 20% of our federal budget on healthcare
Some
at this
remarkable
point?
amount. And you've really underlined and underscored what I'm talking about here. Okay, so we fund this terrible habit of Mountain Dew and Coca-Cola and boxed food and all this garbage. We create the diabetes. We create these health problems, and then we get to pay to fix those health problems, which are lifelong and very lucrative for the companies fixing that. Now, I want to commend you, though, because you came out on X, Twitter, and outed a whole bunch of your fellow influencers here in the last few days because they were saying, oh, it's freedom of choice, and Donald Trump has his Diet Coke button, and so this is, we found out through you, Nick, that they were all getting paid by Coca-Cola and some of these other companies to go out and promote the idea that SNAP benefits should be just fine to buy whatever these people want. I tip my hat to you because it took some courage to do that. How'd you find that out? How'd you figure it out?
Well, I mean, it's not. There are some people. I spend an awful lot of time on X, as you would imagine, and so
Yeah.
it's gotten pretty easy for me. I understand how this game works with sponsored posts and stuff. I can very easily identify sponsored posts. Now, sponsored posts aren't always a bad thing. I don't personally do them, but other people that do. If you're promoting a movie or something, whatever, it's something that goes along with our values, but in this case, it was so obvious that these were paid posts because nobody believes, none of these people genuinely believed what they were saying. Nobody believes that Donald Trump wants to spend $10 billion a year on subsidizing sugary drinks. That was one of the parts when MAHA and MAGA came together. That was one of the first things that they said was going to go, that we're going to stop subsidizing these terrible things that are giving people diabetes, and then all of a sudden it's like they pulled a 180 and started trying to invoke Donald Trump's name. I mean, I noticed that multiple people invoking Donald Trump's name, drinking a Diet Coke or something, and saying Donald Trump is a fan of Diet Coke, so therefore we should continue subsidizing Coca-Cola to the tune of billions of dollars a year. So, I mean, the argument didn't make any sense. It was just so obvious. Not a single one of those people have doubled down on what they said at this point, because it's so obviously bullcrap.
Now, I saw Doherty came back and said, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. He admitted to it. I give him credit for that. But you outed these folks. Riley Gaines says, I was offered the money too. She said, I'm not taking that money. And I appreciate that. Look,
Yeah.
you've not taken the money. I've not taken the money. You have to have some honesty out there. I mean, if we lower ourselves to taking the money, Nick, we're no better than the people we criticize on the left, are we?
Right. No, that's propaganda. That's all it is. It's paid propaganda. And you know, if we want to say, you know, that we're the new media here, that we're
Yep.
taking over for the legacy media, we can't be doing the same crap that they do on a daily basis.
Yeah, there has to be some honesty out there in everything going on. I want to get your take. You got about 2 minutes left here. We'll shift gears real quick. What is your take on Signalgate? I mean, that's what the left is calling Signalgate. Just real quick, I think it's a whole lot of noise because they've been getting their asses kicked for 64 days by Donald Trump, and they need something to get Jasmine Crockett off the front page. Anything, please, God, give us anything, they beg. What do you think?
I think it's a nothing burger. I mean, the mission was highly successful. I think that maybe at a minimum they should be a little bit more careful as to who they're adding into signal groups. I'm personally surprised to learn that the Department of Defense is and the intelligence community is using Signal of all things to communicate. I just would have expected there to be something a little bit more advanced and than an app that you and I probably both have on our phones too.
Yep.
But you know, they are. This is the only thing in in months that the left has been able to use for political points. They have nothing else. They have no wins. This isn't even a win for them. It's just like, okay, you know, they can point the finger at us for something finally. And you're talking about Jasmine Crockett out there yesterday assaulting a journalist at the Capitol, making fun of a disabled governor, a man who was paralyzed because a tree fell on top of him. Calling them Governor Hot Wheels. I mean, who's voting for these people? I mean,
well,
the people
these are
of
the
Dallas,
Democrats
come on,
today,
guys.
That's why I say they're begging anything to get her off the front page. I mean, when you've got her out there,
I would love for her to be the DNC chair.
I'd love it. I mean, she basically by default is, because there is no other leader of the Democrat Party. Nick Sortor. You can find him on X every single day. He's got a lot of followers and he's got a lot of truth telling. Nick, really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Steve.
There you have it. Nick Sortor, everybody. I'll take a break and be right back.